There is a particular kind of quiet that exists only in space. Not the quiet of an empty room, not the quiet of night when a city finally exhales. This quiet has no edges, no walls, no ceiling, no expectation that something will happen next. Tonight, we begin there, not with speed, not with force, but with a slow drift, the kind that happens when nothing is pushing you anymore. Imagine yourself moving away from familiar orbits, the Earth growing smaller without resistance, the Sun still warm but no longer overwhelming. And ahead of you, filling more and more of your awareness, is Jupiter. Not rushing closer, simply being there. Jupiter is not subtle. Even from far away, it announces its presence without sound. A vast sphere of motion and gravity. Clouds layered upon clouds. Bands sliding endlessly around a core that has been turning for billions of years. But tonight, Jupiter is not the destination. It is the doorway. Because around Jupiter, caught in its immense gravitational field, are worlds that do not behave like ordinary moons. They are not small companions. They are not quiet rocks. They are places. And to drift among them is to enter a different scale of time. Before we reach them, let's slow down even more. Take a breath, not a deep one, just enough to notice that you're here. Another breath, and let the idea of distance soften. Space does not hurry you. From a distance, Jupiter appears calm. Its colors are muted creams, soft browns, pale oranges. Its storms are invisible until you look closer. Its motion feels smooth, almost meditative. But this calm is deceptive. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, so large that all the other planets combined would still struggle to match its mass. Its gravity reaches far beyond its visible surface, far enough to shape the paths of comets, far enough to shepherd dozens of moons into complex dances. And those moons, they are the reason we are here. Because if Jupiter were smaller, quieter, less massive, its moons would not exist the way they do. They would not be heated from within. They would not hold oceans beneath ice. They would not stretch, crack, melt, or remember. Jupiter does not just host its moons, it transforms them. Drifting is not traveling. Travel implies a destination. Drifting implies trust. In space, drifting means letting gravity decide your path. It means releasing control and allowing yourself to be carried. Tonight, drifting among Jupiter's moons is not about learning everything. It is about letting information arrive gently, the way sleep does. You don't need to remember names. You don't need to track numbers. You only need to notice how it feels to move slowly through a system that has existed long before thought. Jupiter's moons have been orbiting for billions of years, long before life on Earth learned to look up, long before the concept of a moon existed in language. They have been moving in silence, guided by gravity alone. And now, briefly, your attention joins them. When people hear the moons of Jupiter, they often imagine a list: Io, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto. 4 names, 4 objects. But this is misleading. These moons are not isolated. They are a family, locked together in resonance, influencing each other with every orbit. Io's volcanic activity exists because of Europa and Ganymede. Europa's internal warmth exists because of Jupiter's pole. Nothing here is independent. This is important
because it means that when you drift among these moons, you are not visiting separate places, you are entering a system, a slow, repeating rhythm, a pattern that does not care whether it is observed. It is easy to make space feel overwhelming. Numbers do that. Distances measured in millions of kilometers, masses measured in powers of 10, ages that stretch beyond imagination. But tonight, we will not use scale to impress. We will use scale to soften. Jupiter is enormous, yes, but it is also steady. Its moons move predictably. Their orbits are stable. Their rhythms repeat. There is comfort in repetition. Your own body understands this. Breath repeats. Heartbeat repeats. Sleep comes not from novelty, but from familiarity. Jupiter's system is familiar in that way. It has been doing the same thing for longer than fear has existed. As you drift closer, points of light begin to separate from Jupiter's glow. At first, they are indistinct, just suggestions of presence. Then slowly they become places. One glows faintly with reflected light. Another remains darker, more reserved. One moves faster than the others, pulled tight by gravity. One lags behind, content to take its time. These are not random traits. Each moon carries its own history, and each history will unfold slowly. But not yet. For now, simply notice that you are no longer alone in empty space. You are among companions that do not speak, but still communicate. Through motion, through heat, through time.
Most moons in the solar system are quiet. They orbit. They reflect light. They remain mostly unchanged. Jupiter's moons are different because Jupiter refuses to let them rest. Its gravity stretches them, compresses them, heats them from the inside. They are alive in ways moons are not supposed to be, and this creates tension. Tension between stillness and motion, between ice and heat, between surface and depth. This tension is strangely calming because it mirrors something human. We too exist between pressure and release, between movement and rest. Jupiter's moons do not resolve this tension. They live inside it. Before we focus on individual moons, it helps to pause, to let the system settle in your mind. Imagine Jupiter behind you now, vast, rotating, patient. Ahead of you, 4 worlds, each following a path they cannot escape. They do not resist their orbits. They do not question their roles. They move because movement is what they are. There is something deeply restful about that. No decisions, no urgency, no deviation. Just motion. There is a moment just before sleep when the mind stops trying to organize everything. Thoughts are still there, but they no longer line up. They drift. This is the state we want to remain in as we continue moving through Jupiter's domain. Not alert, not unconscious, just receptive. Long before spacecraft, long before radio signals, long before diagrams and simulations, there was a man standing in the early 1600s holding a simple telescope. Galileo Galilei did not know what he was about to change. He pointed his telescope at Jupiter, expecting to see a planet. Instead, he saw motion, small points of light, shifting positions night after night. Not stars, not fixed, they were orbiting Jupiter. This observation did more than discover moons. It broke the idea that everything revolved around Earth, and in doing so, it quietly expanded the human mind outward. But tonight, that historical weight does not need to feel heavy.
Instead, notice how gentle the discovery actually was. No explosion, no announcement, just patient looking, night after night, watching dots move. Sometimes the greatest shifts begin with quiet repetition. The moons of Jupiter move because they must. They do not burn fuel. They do not choose direction. They are carried by gravity, an invisible hand that never sleeps. Gravity does not rush. It does not shout. It simply holds. And the moons respond by circling endlessly, tracing paths that have been rehearsed billions of times. Io moves quickly, pulled tightly by Jupiter's mass. Europa follows, steady and smooth. Ganymede glides with slow confidence. Callisto drifts farther out, unhurried. Each orbit has a rhythm, a tempo, like breathing. These moons are not independent dancers. They are locked together in a gravitational pattern known as orbital resonance. For every 4 orbits Io completes, Europa completes 2. For every 2 Europa completes, Ganymede completes 1. A 1 to 2 to 4 rhythm. This means they are constantly tugging on one another, not violently, not suddenly, gently. A constant reminder of presence. This resonance stretches their interiors, creates heat, keeps them from becoming frozen, silent worlds. It is invisible conversation that never stops. And it is one of the reasons Jupiter's moons feel alive. On Earth, heat usually means fire. On Jupiter's moons, heat comes from motion, from stretching, from squeezing, from endless gravitational flexing. Io becomes volcanic. Europa keeps liquid water beneath ice. Ganymede maintains a magnetic field. Callisto retains ancient scars without fully freezing inside. None of this requires sunlight. None of this needs atmosphere. It is warmth born from pressure. A reminder that energy takes many forms. Even slow, quiet forces can sustain complexity. At this point, something subtle happens to the listener. The idea of moons starts to feel inaccurate. These are not small companions circling a giant. They are worlds caught in a slow embrace, each with landscapes, each with internal processes, each with a story unfolding over deep time. And suddenly, Jupiter feels less like a planet and more like a system, a central presence shaping everything around it. Much like thoughts shake the mind, much like gravity shapes rest. As you drift here, allow your own thoughts to behave like these moons. Let them orbit without purpose. Let them repeat. If a thought returns, that's fine. If it fades, that's fine too. Nothing needs to resolve. The moons do not resolve their orbits, they simply continue. And in that continuation, stability emerges. There is no sound in space, but if there were, Jupiter's system would not roar, it would hum, a low, steady resonance, a vibration too deep to be called noise, more like the background presence you feel when standing near something massive and unmoving. This imagined hum is not something to listen to, it is something to feel, like the pressure of a blanket. Jupiter is far from the sun. Light here is dimmer, shadows are deeper, colors soften. This darkness is not emptiness, it is protection. Bright environments demand attention. Dark ones allow release. Jupiter's moons exist in a low-light world, and because of that, their changes are slow, gradual. Nothing here flashes, nothing surprises suddenly. This is why they are perfect companions for sleep. Soon, we will move closer. We will focus on individual worlds. We will feel Io's restlessness, Europa's hidden calm, Ganymede's quiet strength, Callisto's ancient stillness. But not yet.
Right now, it is enough to simply be here, suspended, carried. Let Jupiter remain behind you. Let the moons continue ahead, unclaimed, unnamed, just lights moving through darkness. Jupiter's system has existed for over 4 billion years. It has survived impacts, radiation, solar evolution, cosmic change, and through it all, its moons have kept moving, unconcerned, unaware, steady. There is comfort in knowing that something so vast can also be so consistent, that motion does not always mean chaos. Sometimes motion is rest. There is something deeply calming about the idea of orbiting, not traveling forward, not standing still, just moving around, always returning, always held. To orbit a giant like Jupiter is to live inside gravity rather than fighting it. And this is where Jupiter's moons begin to teach something quietly profound. When people first hear the word gravity, they often imagine danger, falling, crushing force, loss of control. But gravity, especially on a cosmic scale, is not violent by nature. It is adhesive. It gathers. It keeps things close. It prevents drifting into nothing. Jupiter's gravity is enormous, more than twice the mass of all other planets combined. Yet for its moons, this force is not destructive. It is protective. Without Jupiter's gravity, these moons would not exist as stable worlds. They would wander, freeze, disappear into interplanetary darkness. Instead, they remain held. Each moon of Jupiter follows a path that is almost perfectly repeatable. Day after day, century after century, eon after eon. Nothing about their movement is surprising. Io rises, Io sets, Europa follows, Ganymede glides behind. This predictability is not boredom, it is reliability, the kind that allows complexity to develop. On Earth, predictability creates seasons. In Jupiter's system, it creates internal warmth, geological activity, and long-term stability. For the human mind, predictability is soothing. That is why repetitive sounds calm us, why steady breathing slows the heart, why familiar patterns ease anxiety. Jupiter's moons exist inside a perfectly predictable embrace. To orbit is to surrender motion, but not identity. The moons do not decide where to go, yet they remain themselves. Io remains fiery, Europa remains smooth and hidden, Ganymede remains vast and layered, Callisto remains ancient and quiet. They are shaped by Jupiter, but not erased by it. This is an important distinction. Gravity influences, it does not overwrite. And this mirrors something deeply human. We are all held by forces larger than ourselves: time, society, biology, gravity itself. Yet within those forces, individuality persists. Orbiting does not mean disappearing. It means coexisting. Nothing in Jupiter's system is urgent. There are no deadlines, no countdowns. Io's volcanoes erupt, but on geologic time. Europa's ice shifts, but over millennia. Ganymede's magnetic field hums endlessly. Callisto's craters remain unchanged for billions of years. Urgency is a human invention, a product of short lifespans and sharp needs. Jupiter's moons exist on a timeline so vast that urgency dissolves. And when the mind begins to imagine that scale, it naturally slows down. Thoughts lose their sharp edges.
Worries soften. Sleep approaches. Jupiter is dangerous. Its radiation belts are lethal. Its storms are immense. Its gravity can tear objects apart. Yet the moons are positioned just far enough away. Not too close, not too far. They exist in a safe distance, close enough to benefit, far enough to survive. This balance is not accidental. It is the result of billions of years of gravitational negotiation. Objects that wandered too close were destroyed. Those too far drifted away. What remains are the survivors, the stable ones. This idea that safety often lies in balance rather than extremes is deeply comforting. Imagine Jupiter not as a stormy planet, but as an anchor, a presence so massive that it defines the region around it. The Sun anchors the solar system. Jupiter anchors its own miniature system within that system. Anchors reduce chaos. They give reference points. Without Jupiter, the outer solar system would be far more unstable. Asteroids would roam more freely. Comets would behave more erratically. Jupiter absorbs impacts, deflects threats, acts as a gravitational shield. Its moons live under this protection, held not only by Jupiter's gravity, but by its role in the larger structure. An orbit is a relationship built on trust. The moon trusts that Jupiter will not suddenly vanish. Jupiter trusts that the moon will not suddenly escape. This mutual dependence creates harmony, not stillness, but controlled motion. The moons never collide with Jupiter because they move sideways fast enough. They never escape because gravity pulls inward. This balance, falling and missing at the same time, is what an orbit truly is, and it is beautiful. Every moon of Jupiter is technically falling toward the planet, but always missing it. This concept can feel unsettling until it feels liberating. Falling without impact, movement without arrival, progress without end. This is a powerful metaphor for rest. Sleep itself is like this. You fall into it, but you never hit bottom. You drift. As this idea settles, something happens naturally. The mind stops trying to go somewhere. Instead, it circles. Thoughts repeat gently. Images return with less intensity. Attention loosens. You may notice your breathing align with the rhythm of the ideas. In, out, like Europa circling Jupiter, steady. There is a strange parallel here. The nervous system relaxes when it senses safety and predictability. Jupiter's moons exist in a perfectly predictable environment. No surprises, no sudden changes. Their nervous systems, if they had any, would never need to panic. By imagining this system, your nervous system begins to mirror it. This is not imagination as fantasy. This is imagination as regulation. Jupiter does not acknowledge its moons. It does not respond. It does not react. It simply exists. And in that existence, everything else finds its place. There is something deeply restful about a presence that does not demand attention, that does not change moods, that does not ask questions. Jupiter is constant, and constancy is one of the greatest sleep aids known to the human mind. We will soon choose individual moons. We will walk their surfaces slowly. We will feel their textures, their temperatures, their hidden oceans and ancient scars. But before that, it is important to stay here just a little longer, inside the idea of orbiting itself, inside the feeling of being held by something larger without being consumed by it. To orbit a giant is not to be insignificant. It is to be part of a system where scale creates safety. The moons of Jupiter are not lost. They are exactly where they need to be. And for a moment, so are you.
There is a quiet truth that most people discover only when everything slows down. Safety does not always come from closeness. Sometimes safety comes from distance. Not isolation, not abandonment, but the right amount of space. Jupiter's moons exist in this exact balance. Jupiter is immense. Its gravity is powerful enough to stretch space itself. Its storms are larger than entire planets. Its radiation belts are lethal. Yet its moons survive. Not by resisting Jupiter, not by escaping it, but by staying just far enough away. Distance here is not separation, it is protection. Each moon occupies an orbit where Jupiter's pull is strong enough to hold it, but not strong enough to destroy it. This is not coincidence. This is the result of billions of years of quiet adjustment. Light feels safe to humans. Darkness often feels threatening. But in space, darkness is neutral. It is simply absence. Jupiter's moons spend half their time in shadow, long eclipses where Jupiter blocks the sun entirely. During these moments, the moons enter complete darkness. No sunrise, no glow, no warmth. And yet nothing bad happens. The moons do not panic. Their surfaces do not crack from fear. Their orbits continue. Darkness here is not danger, it is rest. On Earth, darkness often hides movement, predators, uncertainty, loss of control. In space, darkness hides nothing. There is no sudden motion, no unexpected noise, no approaching threat. The darkness around Jupiter's moons is vast, quiet, and empty. That emptiness is stable. Nothing comes rushing out of it. Nothing demands attention. This kind of darkness is deeply calming, even for the human mind. When the brain senses that darkness contains no threat, it relaxes. This is why sensory deprivation tanks induce calm, why quiet rooms feel restorative, why closing your eyes reduces mental noise. Jupiter's moons live in darkness that is predictable. They know when shadow arrives. They know when it leaves. The timing never changes, and predictability transforms darkness into safety. When something is very close, the brain prepares to act, fight, flee, fix. But when something is distant, the need to act dissolves. Jupiter's storms rage, but far away. Its radiation pulses, but held at bay. Its gravity dominates, but gently, steadily. The moons never have to respond quickly. There is no urgency in their existence. This lack of urgency is what allows stillness. Each orbit repeats the same experience: light, shadow, approach, retreat. Nothing surprises, and surprise is one of the greatest enemies of rest. Your own body relaxes when it knows what comes next. Breath follows breath. Heartbeat follows heartbeat. Orbit follows orbit. Jupiter's presence is constant. It is always there, huge, unmoving from the moon's perspective. Yet Jupiter does not observe. It does not judge. It does not react. This is important. Being seen often creates tension, but being held without being watched creates calm. Jupiter holds its moons without attention.
They exist without performance. None of Jupiter's moons are central. None are the focus. And because of that, none carry responsibility. The sun shines, Jupiter exists. The moons simply move. They do not have to decide. They do not have to optimize. They do not have to improve. They are allowed to exist exactly as they are. This absence of responsibility is profoundly restful. Jupiter is so large that nothing the moons do matters to it. This is not neglect, it is freedom. Small disturbances do not ripple outward. Minor changes do not destabilize the system. In human terms, this would feel like being held by something so stable that your small mistakes cannot break it. That kind of scale is comforting. Near Jupiter, time stretches, not physically, but perceptually. Processes happen slowly. Changes take thousands, millions, billions of years. Nothing needs immediate attention. The human mind, when exposed to these scales, begins to let go of short-term tension. Deadlines dissolve, thoughts lengthen, sleep approaches. Each moon's orbit is precise, not approximate, not flexible, exact. And because of that precision, there is no doubt, no questioning, no searching. The moons do not wonder if they should be somewhere else. They are. This certainty is rare for humans and deeply soothing. In Jupiter's shadow, the moons are not exposed. They are contained. The sun cannot overwhelm them. The system narrows. Only Jupiter remains visible. This narrowing of focus is similar to how sleep works. The mind reduces input. External signals fade. The internal environment becomes dominant. At this point, many listeners notice something subtle. Thoughts become less narrative, less linear, more image-based, or they stop forming entirely. This is not failure, this is transition. The mind is no longer trying to understand, it is beginning to float. Imagine one of Jupiter's moons, Europa, passing into shadow. The sun disappears behind Jupiter's curve. Light drains slowly, not suddenly. The ice surface darkens. Not cold, not frightening, just quiet. Europa continues moving, unconcerned, held, and for a moment, nothing is required of it. You do not need to remember these ideas. You do not need to follow them. Let them circle. Let them repeat, like an orbit. There is a kind of movement that does not disturb, a motion so slow, so constant, that it becomes invisible. Jupiter's moons live inside this kind of motion. They are always moving, always being pulled, always being shaped, and yet nothing feels rushed. Jupiter's gravity does not pull evenly. As a moon orbits, one side feels the pull more strongly than the other. This difference creates tidal forces. To the human ear, the word force sounds aggressive, but here it is gentle, persistent, almost caring. The moon stretches slightly, then relaxes, again and again. Over billions of years, this slow stretching becomes warmth. Europa does not have volcanoes like Earth. It does not burn, it does not erupt, and yet beneath its ice there is warmth. Not from the sun, not from fire, but from motion itself. The constant flexing caused by Jupiter's gravity generates heat inside the moon. This heat never spikes, never shocks. It arrives gradually, quietly, like warmth spreading through your hands when you rub them together slowly. External warmth can disappear suddenly. A cloud covers the sun, night falls. But internal warmth is different. It is reliable. Europa's ocean remains liquid not because of sunlight, but because of this internal motion. The moon is warm from the inside. There is something deeply reassuring about that. Warmth that does not depend on external conditions. Safety that does not rely on constant attention. Europa does not choose to move. It is not trying. It does not adjust. It simply follows the path gravity sets. There is no resistance, no hesitation. The motion happens through it, not by it. For the human nervous system, this idea is profoundly relaxing. Imagine movement that does not require effort, change without decision, progress without strain. If you stretched something quickly, it would tear, but Europa stretches slowly, so slowly that nothing breaks. This is how the body prefers to change: gradual, predictable, gentle. Sudden change triggers alarm. Slow change allows trust. Jupiter's moons have learned this lesson over billions of years. Pressure is often framed as harmful, but without pressure, Europa's ocean would freeze solid. The ice shell presses downward, the ocean presses upward. Balance emerges. Life, if it exists there, would not survive without that pressure, not despite it, because of it. This reframes pressure entirely, not as something to escape, but as something that, when steady, can sustain. Europa's surface is cracked and scarred. Lines crisscross the ice. From the outside, it looks fractured, but beneath that fractured surface lies a vast, calm ocean, more water than all of Earth's oceans combined, protected, insulated, untroubled by surface chaos. This image matters because it mirrors the human experience. A restless surface does not mean a restless interior. The gravitational rhythm is constant. Pull, release, pull, release. Not fast, not slow, just right. Over time, this rhythm becomes background, and background rhythms are what lull systems into rest. Heartbeats, breathing, waves. Europa's entire existence is a lullaby played by gravity. There are no sudden mornings, no abrupt nights. Light fades gradually, shadow arrives softly. The moon is never startled awake. Transitions are smooth, and smooth transitions are the foundation of sleep. Europa is changing. Its surface renews, its ice shifts, its ocean circulates, but nothing happens quickly enough to cause stress. Change unfolds at a pace that allows adaptation. The human body longs for this pace. Fast change exhausts, slow change heals. Europa has no control, and yet it is stable. Humans often believe control equals safety, but Jupiter's moons show a different truth. Surrender to stable forces can be safer than constant management. When the forces around you are reliable, letting go becomes possible. If your thoughts feel distant now, that is expected. If your body feels heavier, that is natural. Nothing is wrong, nothing needs correction. This is the state Jupiter's moons live in. Always moving, never rushing. Always changing, never strained. Picture Europa beneath its ice. Dark water, no light, no urgency. Gentle currents warmed by gravity itself. Motion without effort. Warmth without flame. Existence without demand. You do not need to hold on to this image. Let it drift, let it dissolve, like a moon continuing its orbit even when no one is watching.
There is a kind of silence that feels empty, and another kind that feels full. Jupiter's moons belong to the second kind. They appear frozen, unmoving, inactive, but that stillness is not absence, it is containment. From far away, Europa looks smooth. Ganymede looks quiet,
Callisto looks ancient and unchanging. Nothing flashes, nothing erupts dramatically, nothing draws attention, and yet, these moons are among the most active places in the outer solar system. They simply work slowly. We are conditioned to associate activity with sound, movement with motion we can see, change with visible disruption. But in space, the most important processes whisper. They do not announce themselves. They take place under layers. Ice feels cold to us, rigid, dead. But ice can also be protective. On Europa, the ice shell is not a wall, it is insulation. It keeps warmth inside. It keeps radiation out. It creates a safe, stable interior environment, just as blankets do for the human body. Jupiter is loud in every sense that matters. Radiation storms, magnetic violence, charged particles screaming through space. Its moons survive by staying quiet, by staying sealed. Silence is not weakness here, it is survival. Europa's surface is fractured. Long, dark lines crisscross its ice. At first glance, this looks like damage, but these cracks are signs of renewal. Old ice breaks, new ice rises. The surface heals itself. This is not decay, it is maintenance. Earth renews violently. Earthquakes, volcanoes, storms. Europa renews quietly. Ice shifts millimeter by millimeter. Oceans circulate over centuries. Nothing happens fast enough to panic. Stability emerges from patience. Ganymede is unique. It has its own magnetic field, a protective bubble within Jupiter's massive magnetic storm. It shields itself, quietly, constantly, without effort. This field does not flicker. It does not fail. It simply exists. Ganymede does not know it is protected. Protection does not require consciousness. It requires structure, reliability, consistency. The most comforting protections are the ones that do not require attention. Callisto is heavily cratered, scarred, ancient. It has changed less than any other large moon in the solar system. For billions of years, it has remained almost exactly the same. There is peace in that. Not everything needs to evolve rapidly. Some things are safe because they endure. Callisto's surface tells a story of time passing slowly. Nothing unexpected, nothing sudden. For the nervous system, predictability is calming. The moon offers no surprises, and sometimes that is exactly what rest requires. Life, if it exists beyond Earth, does not need warmth at the surface. It needs stability, energy, protection. Europa may be frozen above, but alive below. Ganymede may look inert, but shielded inside. Callisto may seem unchanged, but quietly enduring. Silence often gets mistaken for emptiness, but silence can be full of processes, full of motion too slow to see, full of potential. The universe does not rush, it unfolds. Everything on Jupiter's moons happens slowly. Orbital shifts take millions of years. Surface changes take centuries. Internal cycles take eons. Nothing is urgent, and that lack of urgency creates safety. When things slow down, muscles loosen, breathing deepens, thoughts stretch. Your body recognizes the rhythm of these moons even if your mind does not. Slow equals safe. On these moons, day and night blur, long periods of shadow, long periods of faint light. No sudden sunrise, no sharp sunset. Transitions are gradual, and gradual transitions are the language of sleep. There is no audience, no observer required. These moons exist fully whether anyone looks or not. That absence of performance is deeply calming. No expectation, no evaluation, just being. If your breathing has slowed, let it. If your thoughts feel less defined, allow that. Nothing needs clarity right now. Jupiter's moons are clear without being sharp. Stillness does not mean stopped. It means balanced. It means forces cancel each other gently. It means nothing is demanding immediate response. That is strength. Picture a frozen ocean, miles of ice above, dark, warm water below. No waves, no storms, only slow currents moving endlessly, protected, held, unrushed. You do not need to remember this. You do not need to analyze it. Let it drift, like a moon continuing its orbit even when thought dissolves.
We often assume time behaves the same everywhere. 1 second is 1 second. 1 day is 1 day. But time is not experienced equally. On Jupiter's moons, time does not rush. It stretches. A clock measures time, but experience feels it. On Earth, time is sharp. Schedules, deadlines, a sense of before and after. On Jupiter's moons, there is no such pressure. Nothing arrives late, nothing leaves early. Europa's day is about 3.5 Earth days long. Ganymede's day matches its orbit, about 7 Earth days. Callisto takes more than 16 Earth days to rotate once. But these numbers mean nothing there. There are no mornings, no evenings, no sense of today, just continuity, day after day, orbit after orbit. Nothing changes dramatically. Repetition here is not boredom, it is reassurance. The same light returns, the same shadow falls, the same gravity holds. Nothing on Jupiter's moons is in a hurry. Ice does not crack quickly. Oceans do not churn violently. Magnetic fields shift gradually. Everything has time. And because everything has time, nothing panics. On Earth, change can feel threatening. On these moons, change happens so slowly it feels safe. A crack may take centuries to widen. A surface renewal may take millions of years. There is no urgency, no countdown. Callisto's surface is over 4 billion years old, older than Earth's continents, yet it remains intact, cratered but stable, scarred but not broken. Age here is not erosion, it is preservation. Nothing remembers on these moons. There is no history recorded emotionally, no trauma carried forward, only physical layering, ice over ice, dust over dust. Time passes without memory, and that is deeply restful. Late implies expectation. On these moons, nothing expects. No sunrise is anticipated, no event awaited. Time flows without judgment. There is no should. Future thinking is exhausting. Planning, anticipating, worrying. On Jupiter's moons, there is no future to prepare for, only continuation. And continuation is gentle. Each moon moves in a predictable orbit, perfectly timed, never rushed, never delayed. The universe rocks them like cradles, over and over. Europa's ocean moves due to gravity, not hours, not days, but pull, release, pull again, like breathing, like waves inside the body. Earth time asks things. Wake up, respond, perform. Jupiter's time asks nothing. It does not require awareness. It does not demand participation. It simply flows. When time slows, sleep follows, not because of fatigue, but because nothing resists it. There is no threat in slowness here. These moons will continue orbiting long after humanity ends, long after memory, long after language. There is comfort in knowing something continues without us. When time stretches to billions of years,
Your worries shrink. They are not erased. They are simply placed where they belong. Small, temporary, light. You do not need to hold on to thoughts. They do not need resolution. Time here does not require conclusions. It allows drifting. On Jupiter's moons, now lasts forever. There is no urgency to move on, no need to improve, no rush toward anything, just presence. Imagine standing on an endless ice plain. No wind, no sound. The sky barely changes. Light fades slowly, returns slowly. Time is not ticking, it is resting. If thoughts fade, let them. If awareness softens, allow it. You are not losing focus, you are entering scale.
On Earth, time pushes. It nudges you forward. It asks, what's next? On Jupiter's moons, time does not push back. It does not lean toward you. It simply exists, wide, open, and unbothered. Urgency is a tension. It tightens the chest, sharpens the mind. But here, there is nothing urgent, no survival clock, no approaching event, no reason to hurry. The nervous system softens in response. We often fear eternity. It feels too large, too endless. But eternity on Jupiter's moons is not loud. It does not overwhelm. It hums quietly in the background, like white noise, like distant waves. The brain evolved to fear sudden change. Predators move fast. Disasters strike quickly. On these moons, nothing moves fast. Change takes millennia, and because of that, nothing feels dangerous. Stillness tells the body, you are not being hunted. You are not required. You can let go. On Europa's frozen plains, on Ganymede's ancient surface, stillness dominates. Ice does not rush to melt. Cracks do not demand repair. Nothing breaks suddenly. The surface evolves slowly, patiently. Time becomes something you lean into, not fight. Jupiter's pole is constant, reliable, never absent. That predictability creates rhythm, not fast, not slow, just steady. And steady rhythms calm the mind. Waiting implies expectation. On these moons, there is nothing to wait for, no arrival, no departure. Time unfolds without anticipation. Milestones divide time. Before, after, achieved, failed. Here, there are no milestones, no progress markers, no finish lines, only continuation. Each moon traces the same path again and again. Perfect repetition, never tiring, never deviating. This looping is not monotony, it is comfort. Regret needs memory. Memory needs events. Events need change. Change is rare here. Time passes without emotional residue. Nothing accumulates, nothing lingers. As you imagine these moons, your thoughts begin to space out, not disappear, just spread thinner, less dense, like stars across a wide sky. Fast time is demanding, slow time is forgiving. Jupiter's moons forgive everything. They do not punish delay. They do not record mistakes. Nothing watches here. No expectations, no judgment. Time flows whether you observe it or not. That anonymity is restful. Seconds, minutes, hours, they lose relevance. Time becomes something felt rather than counted, and felt time is gentler. When time is endless, the mind stops gripping it. There's no fear of running out, no anxiety of wasting, only drifting. If your thoughts are slowing, let them. If they dissolve, that's okay. Time here does not require thinking. Change can be exciting, but it can also be exhausting. Here you are safe from surprise, safe from interruption. When time loses edges, the body feels lighter.
Muscles soften, breathing deepens, not because you earned it, not because you finished something, but because nothing demands otherwise. Imagine Jupiter hanging motionless in the sky, its bands frozen, its storms distant. Below you, endless ice. Above you, endless time, neither asking anything of you. Time does not have to be something you survive. Sometimes it can be something that holds you. And when time holds you gently, sleep follows naturally. On Earth, silence is rare. There is always something underneath it. A hum, a distant engine, a thought filling the gap. On Jupiter's moons, silence is not the absence of sound. It is the default state. This is not the silence of abandonment, not the silence after loss. It is a silence that existed before anything needed to speak, a silence that was never interrupted. Without air, sound cannot travel. There are no echoes here, no reverberations, no sudden interruptions. Every action ends exactly where it begins. The human nervous system evolved in noisy environments. Rustling leaves meant movement. Movement meant attention. Silence, when prolonged, meant safety. Here, silence is permanent. Nothing listens, nothing watches, nothing waits for you to move. This absence of observation is profoundly calming. We think of shelter as walls, but the mind seeks shelter from stimulation. Here, there is no stimulation to escape from. Europa's surface is locked in ice, cracked slowly by tides. Those cracks do not scream, they do not snap, they open over centuries. On Earth, change announces itself. On these moons, change whispers, if it whispers at all. The body relaxes when change stops startling it. Without sound cues, the brain slows internal narration. Thoughts stretch out, words dissolve, meaning becomes unnecessary. In deep quiet, the mind notices itself. Then, slowly, it stops noticing. No notifications, no calls, no signals. Silence does not ask you to react. Vigilance is tiring. It keeps the muscles slightly tense. Here, vigilance fades. There is nothing to monitor. Studies show that prolonged silence lowers blood pressure, but this silence goes deeper than physiology. It touches identity. You are not a thinker here, not a listener, not an observer, just a presence. At first, silence feels wide. Then it feels soft. Then it feels like floating. Ganymede is old, older than memory. Its silence has never been broken, not once. Loneliness requires absence of connection. Here, there was never expectation of connection, and without expectation, loneliness cannot form. Without sound, thoughts lose traction. They drift. They do not anchor. Silence does not correct you. It does not evaluate. It does not respond. That neutrality is comforting. Being needed can be meaningful, but it is also heavy. Here, nothing depends on you. Silence grants permission to stop, to pause, to release effort. Background anxiety feeds on anticipation. In endless silence, anticipation starves. It separates you from urgency, from identity, from narrative. Muscles loosen, breathing deepens, jaw unclenches. The body trusts the quiet before the mind does. Thoughts slow, then fragment, then rest. This quiet existed before Earth had oceans, before life had voices, before meaning was assigned. Silence here never breaks, no sudden noise, no surprise. Awareness becomes diffuse, not focused, not alert, just present. There is no need to think, no need to imagine. Silence holds itself. Imagine yourself standing still, not waiting, not listening, just being held by absence. Silence does not erase you, it gently unburdens you. And when nothing needs you, sleep arrives on its own.
Every journey you know ends somewhere. A place, a conclusion, a summary. This one does not, because rest does not require arrival. Throughout this story, we moved from Earth to Jupiter to its moons, across ice, shadow, gravity, and silence. But now movement itself becomes optional, not because something ended, but because nothing else is expected. Expectancy is what keeps the system alert. Here, expectation dissolves. The mind has been collecting gently images, ideas, distances, quiet facts. Now it stops collecting. Curiosity opens the mind. Comfort closes the loop. This is where curiosity rests. Nothing else needs to be explained. The universe does not require your understanding, only your presence. Thought is movement. Direction is tension. Without direction, thought slows. Your breathing has already changed. Longer exhales, softer pauses. The body arrived first. You are still held, but nothing presses down, not even meaning, not erased, not destroyed, just set aside. You are not your name here, not your history, not your plans. There is no next thing, no later, no earlier, just now, stretched thin. The voice that narrates experience begins to fade, not forced, not silenced, just unnecessary. You are not far from anything. You are not close either. Distance has stopped being relevant. Awareness drifts back to sensation, breath, warmth, weight, stillness. You are not resting well or poorly. There is no correct way to be here. Control requires attention. Attention requires effort. Effort releases its grip. Nothing here disappears if you let go. Nothing here needs protection. No falling, no sudden shift, just gradual dimming. Stars burn, moons orbit, gravity pulls. None of it requires your awareness. That is comforting. Nothing tracks your thoughts. Nothing measures your state. You are not being assessed. Rest is not something you do. It is something you allow. Language dissolves into rhythm. Meaning softens into tone. Tone fades into silence. The body knows how to sleep. It always has. You do not need to help it. This story does not conclude. It simply stops speaking. That is expected. Memory is not the goal. Ease is. Let them pass, like distant lights on water. No reflection, no takeaway, no insight. So is Jupiter. So are its moons. So is silence. They will remain. You can rest. In. Out. Nothing else. There is no goodbye. Only quiet. Only rest. Only sleep. Good night.